Welcome to Horror of History. Ready to uncover the dark secrets of our past? From bone-chilling true crime to haunting mysteries, we bring you the stories that history tried to bury. If you crave suspense, fear, and the thrill of the unknown, you're in the right place. Subscribe now and let's explore the terrifying truths that lurk in the shadows of history, if you dare.
For today's topic, we will dive into the history of the Jonestown tragedy. The Jonestown tragedy, one of the most horrifying tragedies in modern history, occurred on November 18, 1978, in a remote settlement in Guyana, South America. Over 900 members of the People's Temple, a religious cult led by Jim Jones, died in a mass murder-suicide, marking it as the largest loss of American civilian life in a deliberate act until the September 11 attacks. Background: the People's Temple and Jim Jones. Jim Jones, a charismatic preacher, founded the People's Temple in Indiana during the 1950s, preaching a blend of Christianity, socialism, and racial integration. Initially, the group was seen as a progressive movement, advocating for social justice and racial equality. However, as Jones' mental state deteriorated, he became increasingly paranoid and authoritarian, isolating his followers and demanding absolute loyalty. By the mid-1970s, facing growing scrutiny from the media and the U.S. government for alleged abuse and manipulation of his followers, Jones moved his congregation to a remote jungle settlement in Guyana, which he named Jonestown. He promised his followers a utopian society free from oppression, but the reality was far more sinister. Jonestown was a heavily controlled environment where Jones' paranoia and delusions of grandeur intensified. He convinced his followers that the U.S. government was out to destroy them, and he imposed brutal punishments for those who disobeyed or tried to leave. The lead-up to the massacre. Concerned relatives of People's Temple members, as well as defectors, began to raise alarms about the conditions in Jonestown. This led U.S. Congressman Leo Ryan to organize a fact-finding mission to Jonestown in November 1978. Ryan was accompanied by a group of journalists and concerned family members. Upon their arrival, some residents expressed a desire to leave with Ryan, raising tensions within the community. On November 18, as Ryan and his entourage prepared to depart with several defectors, they were ambushed at a nearby airstrip by armed People's Temple members. Ryan and 4 others were killed while several others were wounded. This marked the beginning of the tragic end of Jonestown. The massacre. Following the attack at the airstrip, Jim Jones realized that his dream of a utopian society was collapsing. In a state of delusion and panic, he ordered what he called a revolutionary suicide. Jones instructed his followers to drink a concoction of flavor aid, often mistakenly referred to as Kool-Aid, mixed with cyanide, sedatives, and tranquilizers. Mothers were forced to administer the poison to their children before drinking it themselves. Those who resisted were coerced at gunpoint. As members drank the poison, chaos and horror unfolded. People screamed, convulsed, and died in agony. The bodies of over 900 people, including 304 children, were found scattered around the compound, many embracing each other in death. Jim Jones himself was found dead from a gunshot wound to the head, believed to be self-inflicted or possibly assisted by a close follower. Aftermath and legacy. The Jonestown Massacre shocked the world, becoming a symbol of the dangers of cults and the devastating consequences of blind loyalty to a charismatic leader. The tragedy also led to increased scrutiny of religious movements and the ways in which charismatic leaders can manipulate and control their followers. In the years since, Jonestown has been studied extensively as a case of mass psychological manipulation and the extreme lengths to which people can be driven by fear and coercion. The phrase, "drinking the Kool-Aid," has entered popular culture as a metaphor for blind, unthinking allegiance to a cause or leader, though it carries the weight of the horrific events that inspired it. Subscribe to Horror of History for more true horror experience and true crime documentary. See you tomorrow for new story or crime documentary. Subscribe.